Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Urbit Hermit Podcast. Cameron Jones here with my fellow hermits.
You said Urbit.
Did I say Urbit?
Yeah, you said Urbit. Urbit Hermit.
Urbit Hermits. Hey, everybody. It's Cameron Jones.
It's a spinoff. It's like it. I don't know what it's like.
You know what, though? I have done a couple...
You didn't capture them. You captured their stunt
Let me get this clean.
That's what it feels like.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Urban Herbit Podcast. I almost said it wrong there, too.
Sherbet.
This is like our second try. Okay, let me say...
Sherbet lemon.
Cameron Jones here with my fellow hermits.
Hermit Mark.
Jordan Jones.
Always giving us the gold on the intros, Jordan. I will say...
That felt like a hermit. That's what hermits are like.
I will say, though, having done a few...
Jordan Jones.
Having done a few promos for this show, though,
Jordan Jones.
It is hard to say Urban Hermit fast. It does not roll off the tongue.
I mean, it is not
Especially
a
you're working with two mumblers here.
Oh, yeah, so it's not great, but...
Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips.
Lips on the T, T's on the tits.
So what have you guys been up to this week? This might be the slowest, most boring week I've had in a while, where I was even talking to my wife before this, and I was like, what did we do? And we couldn't even, think of a bunch of great things we watched, but it's mostly been spent inside. In true Herbert
Well,
form.
I've been
Jordan?
packing my apartment to move and feeling real melancholy. Anybody else?
Definitely not that
Real
vibe.
melancholy.
Moving is up there as one of my least favorite things in the world. It is just
What's
the worst. It involves cleaning,
I get
too.
This is an easy answer. What's worse, moving out or moving in?
Oh, moving out 100%.
Out,
Oh,
100%.
Moving in is
Yeah.
fun because you get to redesign and redecorate, and it's a whole new thing. You
right.
know?
There is a little bit of a plus. There's a little bit of a
Fun,
silver lining.
fun
to
feels
moving
like a
in.
little bit of a stretch, but yeah, it's better. It's definitely better.
It's more fun.
All my boxers are looking at me and saying, it gets better. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. We still just got to unpack you. What's funny is, though, we have a little storage area. And we found 4 boxes we didn't unpack from our last move. So what do you do?
shit.
There you go.
Do you unpack them or do you just leave them packed? So we had to figure out
Leave
what was
'em
in them.
I mean,
that's what I said. That's not what
You
we
just gotta
did.
peek.
I say you leave it for the next owner. If it never got open, it wasn't worth having, you know? I'll say
That's what I say.
that is the one thing that's changed over all these moves. The amount of things I have decreased significantly because each move it gets easier and easier to say, screw it, toss it.
It's like Storage Wars. Just whatever's in the unit. Just
Dude,
I don't know what's in there. You got to keep it.
if you remember when we initially moved to Chicago, the amount of knickknacks we were bringing was ridiculous, and the amount we accumulated
Which
over
is
the years.
absurd because you guys were high school.
Yeah, I know, but we had
What the fuck did you even have?
Well, which is
toys.
Yeah,
Jordan,
it was
toys.
essentially toys. We just had our band room, our band practice space. We were moving that over, and
Looked like a goddamn Applebee's.
we were moving over all of our
yeah, you
decor.
guys did have a lot of shenanigans on the wall. Before I moved in with Megan, when I was in college, outside of my bed, I could move with 2 garbage bags. I was
sorry.
light.
Hold on, was it Cameron? Is that a Black and Mild? What do you smoke? What do we
got
What?
there?
No, it's fume.
We got a
I
little
already told you about this. It's aroma inhaler. It's
Oh.
just it's
Is it a
nothing.
little cigarello?
It's
You a cigarello guy?
it's-
Been watching a lot of
just
good,
scent-
bad,
it's
and
just
the
scent-
ugly.
it's essential oil.
Huh. Okay.
How does me getting in the cigarello game play? Am
Similar
I pulling it off?
similar
or
to your pipe. Seems good on paper, looks good, but then just in practicality, you don't like it. You know.
Well, no, I think the practicalities. I mean, cigarello is better than a cigar or a cigarette.
Corn
It's either
cob
the
pipe
best-
looks so good on paper.
Well, I wouldn't say a corn cob, but I'd say a pipe. I'm more of the wooden Sherlock
Sure.
Holmes pipe.
I'm just thinking Frosty.
Yeah.
I have Mark, you
nose.
were also saying a nice scarf and a stove. What do they call the fucking hat? They don't call it just a top hat, right? Let me get the lyrics on this. Keep moving up. I was going to make a Frosty
the
joke.
Monopoly.
Yeah, what kind of hat you
I like
talking?
more of a driving cap.
Yeah,
more of
I think that's more what he's going for. Some sort of flatter smoking cap. Is that what you're imagining? Because that's what I'm imagining.
No, you guys were talking about Frosty the Snowman, and I know they reference his hat.
Oh,
in
that's a
weird
top
way as
hat.
well.
They do. Well, his eyes.
Well,
were
I
made
know
out
what
of
it
coal.
is. Keep talking amongst yourself.
Well, you
Frosty
really
Snowman.
took it away
Really
from me
derailed
there.
us here. We're already talking.
It's just
about
it's just
a
an
top.
old
It's
it's
just a
just
hat.
an old top hat.
Yeah, that's what
it was the cadence I thought. All right,
old
you know. So if you're playing at home and you're just screaming, "It's an old top hat!" It's like you were right, and I was wrong. So I apologize about that.
Shit.
I thought it was going to be something a little more. He gets Parson Brown though
Yeah.
to marry.
So
No, we're
you
all
could-
talking.
You could live off of 2 garbage bags full of all of your items, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know,
So you were almost like one of those hitchhikers that what are those called? Like the
Hobos. I believe they're
those
called
little
hobos.
sacks.
Oh, okay.
It does have a name.
Yeah, the little sack.
Oh no, they were. If we're talking that, if that's how you want your reference size, I had about 17 of those. 2 big garbage bags. It was more than a
Now,
knapsack.
Mark, you seem surprised, but this is coming from someone who aspires to van life, someone who just lives and travels in a van. And
Turns out, you know why I can't van life?
let me-
Because I don't have a van, I'm not handy, and I'm not an Instagrammer.
Boys, we're calling it a bindle.
a bindle, that's right. I also want to say, though,
Bindle.
you weren't aspiring to be one of those people that like makes a mini home out of a van. You just wanted to live in a van. You weren't renovating anything, if I believe.
Yeah, I
Down
was
by the
just,
river.
I was
These aren't
just
small,
down in
tiny
life,
homes.
and I wanted to sleep in parking lots in a van.
You know, I think you're gonna miss the bathroom convenience. I think that's gonna be pretty big.
I thought of this. You just get like a 24-hour like big box gym membership, and that should take care of all that.
So you're gonna do the touring band method of just hanging out in Walmart parking lots and getting gym memberships.
Yeah, except I wouldn't have any music ability or talent. You're correct. Yes.
Okay, cool.
And I wouldn't be touring. I'd just be living in a van, not down by the river, just in a Walmart.
Well, down by the river, you've also talked about boat life. Is that out of the cards for you? Have you moved on?
Houseboat life, and yeah, that's also not going to happen. I think I'm just moving to Iowa and rearing children with me.
Well, you could be moving like towards, you got the Mississippi. I mean, it's not too close, but there are bodies of water. You could still, you were looking for a hobby too to get away from the family. Could it be boat life, fishing,
Or painting fences.
So I spent a lot of. I went on a little vacation to Charleston, South Carolina, and we were on the water. I'm just not a wave or boat guy. I'm a lake guy. I'm not an ocean guy. I know that much.
Did you get seasick?
No, but I did some. We went to a beach for a day, and it was just like the first day we were there was like choppy water. I'm like, this is a nightmare. I wanted to enjoy it, but I just couldn't. Second day was a little calmer.
Seasickness does run in the family, and I do worry that I've never really been out of the ocean, but the first time I get out there, I'm going to find out that it's horrible, and then I'm just trapped.
Can I just say that I saw a picture, and I know you have a pregnant wife, but you guys were all out there in like slacks and dress shoes, and I had taken. It's not really.
Oh, on the beach? No,
Yeah.
that was a picture for pregnant.
Planned?
We needed,
Got it.
Yeah,
Sure.
It wasn't happenstance. I asked a group of 60-year-olds, and I know they were 60 because they're all wearing T-shirts that said we're turning 60. A group of friends that have been friends for 40 years. They told me. It turns out you shouldn't ask a 60-year-old to take your picture. It's not the best framing. Should have gotten someone
That
younger.
makes sense.
But retroactively, they got a good frame picture for me.
You
of
just
their
saw
group.
behind the scenes of Wild Hogs 2.
Are they making a sequel? God, I hope
not.
so. I sure
You
hope
hope so? Okay.
I saw that movie at least 15 times in the theaters.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
great about that one now is John Travolta wouldn't pretend to have hair, so it might just be a more natural look. He was really
That's true. He'll
holding
look
on
a little
for
more like a biker in
decade.
that way.
Cameron, I hope you have a couple new listeners this week that just think you really like Wild Hogs and like.
I'm
saw
not
it
going to
50
break that
times in
down
theater.
anymore. The listeners know, but
Yeah, no, yeah, that's
seen-
fair.
We
I
can
love
at
that.
least say that you two have probably seen Wild Hogs more than the average human.
I don't know about Mark. I just know for sure I've seen Wild Hogs at least like
Cameron's picked it up, broke it down, sent it off.
3 months, man, of that movie. And then also that's 3 months of a summer of needing somewhere to go. And that's the only movie that's in the theater when I'm drinking with my friends. So you're going to see it. You're going to see it a couple times.
What's crazy is apparently how well that did in small town blank, Iowa.
Oh, that's not surprising at all. That's made for him, baby.
Yeah, I guess that's
That's
right.
the only kind of movie that did do well there. Ghost Rider did amazing as well, too. And that movie sucks.
Who's in Ghost Rider?
That's
not
Nick
Tim Allen.
Cage.
Nick Cage, okay.
Okay, you're going to be shocked about two things about Wild Hogs. When do you think the release date
No,
was?
I mean,
I'm
sometime in high school.
2007,
7, 8.
No, not the year, the month. It is 2007, so
Oh.
that was easy. Weird release month, and I bet you got it maybe a month or two after. We're talking February 27th.
Weird,
yeah.
Wild, if you will.
Even weirder is the box office, and this is astounding. $253 million.
I mean, the cast was kind of there.
Yeah,
right?
it makes
Like,
sense.
Yeah, they had name recognition, but God, I mean,
Nah, that's like, well, I was gonna say it's like your summer popcorn movie, but it's
No,
a winter
it's a
popcorn
dead
movie.
of winter.
Same basis.
It's
though.
a
Dead of
you know what it
winter.
is? It's like maybe before its time, before Adam Sandler got his hands on
No,
it.
yeah, that's the same feel. It's a better movie than Grown Ups, kind of, but I would much rather watch
I like
Grown Ups.
I actually fucking like Grown Ups.
No, it's not better than Grown Ups because it doesn't have the Sandman in it.
I'm just saying, as a movie, it's better, I think. But I do like Grown Ups way better. How many times do you think you've seen Grown Ups 2 though? I've seen Grown Up 1 like a million times.
Like once or
Once.
something.
I don't think I saw it
Once.
more than once, but again, this is partly because of syndication, I'd imagine. I mean, it's not my fault. Show me too.
Do you know what I always think when I watch Grown Ups, and it's a little rude, but whatever. I assume we all have this feeling that if Chris Farley was alive, he would have gotten to been in that, and it would have been a little better than
it would
Kevin
have been
James.
him instead of Kevin
It's
James.
a lot of better.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but it would have been more
with
fun,
most
right?
projects, yeah, since he's died.
You got like the more Tommy Boy vibes, maybe.
Yeah, you would have gotten him and Spade's whole stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we got?
I've been more of an outside guy. This past weekend got a little.
Oh, you were
burn.
really burned when I saw you the other
Ooh.
day. What'd you get
Looked
so
like a
burned? What were you
lobster.
doing?
Trying to get a nice crispy layer. on
You
me,
were
I guess.
going for it. You got it.
Going for it. Yeah. Well, I tan a little easier than most, so I just went for it. I'm not hurting too bad anymore. But.
You know, I'm really quick with my sunburn heal now. Now it's like a day and a half at most, and I'm pretty much back to right as rain. But I've also not been as stupid as I was as a kid about just not giving a shit and letting myself get burned. I've been a little more conscious of how long I'm in the sun.
Oh yeah, at least I put like an SPF like 8.
Honestly, I really haven't even worn sunscreen that much this summer. It's just I've been, I don't know, timing it well enough that I'm not out long enough to burn, if I can help it.
I was really tan last year because I was walking so much outside. Like really tan.
I mean, you just got back from vacation. Your arms are looking a little tan just from here.
I have like 6 lights out in this room.
That'll help.
You know what
Could
you
just
have
be
to
a shadow
respect is
thing.
like the old 50s lifeguard move where it's just like the nose is caked in it. Just a
I'll
white
tell you
nose.
though, I got a big ears and big nose. I do have to get the tip of my ears.
You do
my
that.
ears have to get a little sunblock. Like I don't leave it white like that. I'm not insane.
Well, yeah.
But like I do have to get.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if copper tone just didn't rub in as easily back in like the 50s.
I mean, just sticking
I
out
don't
the
know.
most. Maybe
Whatever
there's-
that was blocking, it wasn't worth what you're getting back. I mean,
So just imagine they are burnt
everywhere.
everywhere and then just have a completely pale nose.
it's just a white ass
Completely
nose.
white nose.
Are we back in Frosty?
I got a big thigh and top of foot problem. If that gets sun,
Oh yeah, actually, one of the
yeah,
worst.
I burn the
Thigh.
top of my feet all the time.
One of the worst.
Cameron, I already know what you're gonna say.
When we were going tubing, it was one of the
Tubing.
worst sunburns I had. I didn't think about it, but I got all my body, but I didn't reapply well on the
'Cause think
top
when
of
you-
my
think
feet
about how
and
you're sitting
thighs.
in a
Yeah,
tube.
it was just the top of my feet and thighs sticking out, and they got completely scorched. Oh, it sucked.
And if you want to wear shorts the rest of the summer, the edge of the shorts are rubbing up against that. It's chafing.
Oh, dude, we went to a party that night. I was wearing khaki shorts, and there
remember,
were
yeah.
like 2 different times I had a deep pants, and I had people rub aloe on my thighs. Sucked.
Sounds like a good
Wasn't
party.
terrible.
Sounds like a good
Wasn't
time.
terrible.
2 bad sunburns. One was actually tubing, but it was overcast, and I thought I'd be
That's
fine.
where it gets you.
That was an actual bad one. And then the first time I went to Vegas, I put on a lot of sunblock, but I laid by the pool and I woke up and I'm like, what has happened to my legs? Why do they hurt so bad? I had my legs crossed and I was burnt on one of my shins and just completely the
thigh.
tan line of my.
It was like a Lincoln log.
It was exactly like that, and I was fucking scorched. I'm like, I put on a lot because it was Vegas. I wasn't being.
Mine's
flippant,
probably like
you
a
know?
shoulder burn, and those are bad too because pulling off
the
a shirt or even
That's
like
a rough
drying
one to
off
break.
after a shower, rough.
Do you guys have friends growing up who are like, I just gotta get that base tan in, and I'm like, your skin is peeling. Like you should.
Yeah, I
not
mean,
do
kind
that.
of marked.
Like
but
this is a mistake.
I was about to say, it's
You
kind
know
of marked.
That's
yeah.
what you did. I mean, the
Gotta
argument
get
for
that
the base
layer. My
tan
skin's
is like,
leather.
yeah, it's like you're fucking good. Yeah, I don't know.
One of the weirdest sunburns, I still don't
scared of
know
skin
how this
cancer.
makes sense. One of our friends, Lane, put like sunscreen on my back for me, but somehow I only got burnt with handprints. It was like the opposite of what should have happened. Yeah, I
Doesn't make any
doesn't
sense.
make
What he did was he put like those turkey drawings you do,
Dude,
like,
Yeah.
maybe honestly,
he just
but
did that and then did
just
another
somehow
one.
there were like hand streaks where it just looked like someone like clawed down my back is what was like the burn.
Oh, wait, so opposite. He almost like put oil.
Yeah, I don't
on
know.
it.
I don't know what happened, but it's just complete opposite of what should have happened. Witchcraft, I say. I haven't had like a bad sunburn in a long time, though. I've been pretty conscious of it. I mean, I'm getting a weird farmer's tan, though, as you all know, and this arm is still significantly darker. I am working on that. I think I'm going to go tanning.
That was
That's
part
a
of
dog,
my-
that's a dog walker's
No,
tan.
it's I work next to a window, and like literally, it's just the ambient light coming through is enough to get this one arm.
Oh yeah, you got the arm sleeve
Yeah,
on.
which is going on. But I'm going to try to write it out. I'm going to go with Nicole to the gym and use the tanning beds and try to get a good, even crisp.
Jordan, to your point, even on like sort of or was it Cameron who said it? On like an overcast day, you can still almost, if the UV is high enough, you can still
so that's it, Megan. I feel
burned.
like I just learned about the UV. Like, it doesn't matter what the sun or doesn't show. It's if it's a high UV day.
Yeah, look
Phones
up the
can
scale.
tell you
It's like
everything
one, yeah. 1 to 2 is like you don't really need protection. 2 to 5 is like it's going to be like an hour before you burn, and then it's all about the burn.
I did know about the
burn,
cloud
boys.
because I was arrogant as a kid, and the majority of the time I got really bad burn is when I was like, nah, it's cloudy, I'm fine. And then, outside all day, fried.
Turns out it may have just been the UV ray.
It almost acts as like a magnifying glass, if you will.
That's true. That's what it's like, I suppose.
I suppose.
You don't have to go into too much detail, but you just went to Austin, right? I've never been to that city. Is it cool?
Yeah, it's really cool. I might have talked about it a little bit on the last pod, but it's...
And also, you act like you haven't heard everybody's podcast coming out of Austin. You know Austin's cool.
They call it like the live music capital of America, but I've been to Nashville too, and I think
Nashville's
Nashville takes the
everywhere.
cake.
Nashville's fucking titties, but maybe it's like a different type of music. It's kind of more.
Are you bringing that back?
What?
Titties is like a...
I don't know. Did it ever
I'm
go?
going to start using it.
I guess I've just found
boots
out
on
that
the
it went.
ground.
I guess I found out that it went away. I didn't know that.
It's second time tonight.
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess, yeah. I don't think it ever left from me. No, I do want to go to Austin sometime, but I've never made it there. You did the whole tube it in the river type thing or whatever they do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Lady Bird Lake did the whole tubing, kayaking thing.
I've still never been kayaking.
fun.
I've been canoeing, but never kayaking. I want to get in a single raft.
I'm going to say the thing the Midwesterners say all the time. It's a dry heat. It's the humidity.
Was it, or
that
was it? It's humid as shit there, right?
No, it's dry. It's drier down there.
Oh,
thinking about planning.
If you're ever thinking about going to Charleston, I thought about it this time. It's like Boston had a baby with New Orleans. It's like a real historic city, well kept, but kind of still southern.
See any cobblestone?
A little cobblestone, lots of old buildings,
church
and
steeples, I believe.
2 church steeples,
Or at least nothing taller than the church steeple, I believe, right? Isn't that there?
Colorful buildings, no?
Yeah, they got something called Rainbow Row. I got a picture of that. You're gonna think it's super long, but it's like 4
Cameron, we were
houses.
there with Chris like in 2009 before we moved.
Sure
to Chicago.
did. I remember going down Rainbow Row. I don't exactly remember what we did that day in town, but I think we just went to like a Mellow Mushroom and got pizza and stuff. And
We went to Mellow Mushroom.
that sounds about right. It was just a chill day.
Although it's a small city, it's only like 140,000 people, so it's not that big. Or it's like the downtown area. But it was fun.
Nicole and I are thinking about planning a trip the next couple of months to hit up Hollywood Horror Nights and Universal. This year it's Stranger Things, so that's like between September, October, sometime in there. Trying to plan a weekend.
That'd
be fun. I've never done the Universal Horror Nights, but I did do like the Chicago area.
Six Flags.
What do they call it? Fright Fest. That was fun.
Yeah, I've done Fright Fest, and I do like that quite a bit. And we should go again this year, but I've also never done the Hollywood Horror
My favorite
Nights.
is the perennial video that Jordan sends. It's what's he
all
say?
hell-
It's
it's all
happening.
breaking
It's
loose.
time.
No, it's
Yeah, what do you say?
Jesus. Well, they kept having this catchphrase.
Not
that,
again. Yeah.
No, they had this catchphrise, and I can't remember what it is. I'll pull up the video.
It was about all hell breaking loose, and you can.
Oh yeah, they kind of. So whenever the park opened at like 4:30, but they're like Fright Fest doesn't start till 6:30. That's when all hell breaks loose. And then I really leaned into that.
Wait, what's? Oh, I guess it's later in the year that 6th. It would be kind of at dusk at that point.
True. Now it's like 9, 10.
'Cause I was about to say that's way too early for that to be when hell's breaking.
I'm already ready for it, man. I'm in a fall mood. I've been watching a lot of scary movies. I'm playing a video game called Quarry right now.
No.
I do this every year. It's summers when I start
Yeah, you
getting
do.
into. But
You do.
we've talked about this a million times. There's like your fall horror, and then there's like your, like the original Friday the 13th, your summer camp horror.
That's summer, right?
And you have a
Well,
million
if
of
you
those.
guys go and listen to any of our, and I encourage you to do so, go listen to our we're on Urban Hermit. Go listen to our cult classic podcast Halloween episodes. I believe that summer movies don't always put me in the spirit of the season, and I like my Halloween movies set around Halloween.
Should we just come out with a podcast called Berman Sherbet?
I mean, what
Wait, isn't that what we're doing? This is called Bourbon Sherbets, isn't it?
Mark, I'd love to see you try say that 3 times fast.
Urban hermit.
You're really thinking about it though. You know, you little dickweed.
You little prick.
It's 6 o'clock, and you know what that means. All hell's breaking loose.
So that's a clip of Jordan from 4
It's
years
like a
ago.
Blair Witch video. Like it's like very front-facing shot. It's so good.
Would it be worth it to put this on our Instagram wall? I'm sure the people want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually that's a good
That's
post.
exactly the kind of content we need up there.
I love that.
We probably should say, I mean, this will be coming out tomorrow, so it'll be out, but new Highwire music is out today. So if you're listening to this on the day, go check out the new Highwire song, Slow Down, featuring Michaela Burton.
I got a real question.
Yes.
Megan was scrolling through something on Facebook, and it showed up as a sponsored ad. Do you think that's directed towards her, or it was just big enough?
Wait, what do you mean? Of us?
Well, Well, was
she
she
was
talking about Jimmy Dean sandwiches, and then all of a sudden a Jimmy Dean ad pops up? What kind of ad?
I don't know if we were talking about you guys, but just a Facebook ad showed up on her Facebook with your guys' song.
Nice.
Can I say I don't like that? Because it happens to everybody.
Mark, I think, but it's
smartphone.
us.
You know
I
what
love
you do
that.
like sometimes?
I love that for us.
Right. But sometimes
you.
you're like, it was a really. You're saying when you talk about something and the
Yes.
computer hears you,
Sorry,
right?
Yeah, thank you for
The
explaining that.
worst experience of that for me was when I was looking up engagement rings. Everybody's computers, I think your computer.
Cameron's went off. I went off.
My work computer got hit. Yeah.
You were
The
over
big
for
thing
one
that's-
afternoon talking about it, and all of a sudden,
Well, the thing that sucked here is when we were watching YouTube, there'd be just nothing but diamond commercials in our YouTube ads, and I'm like, this is irritating me. I don't know whether or not. Yeah,
she probably picked up on that.
I would assume so. She's pretty smart, but what can you do? You got to look on. It was during the pandemic. I had to look on the internet for a ring.
So I really haven't left the house much this week, and I've been kind of binging some stuff. But what are some of your favorite binges that you've had where you've really locked in on a show and kind of marathoned it? Westworld
good
for
question.
me. The first season of
Love
Westworld, it was around one of my birthdays, I don't know, 5 years ago. And I just
You mean just all time binges or stuff we like to kind of go back to?
I like all
either
time.
or. There are just some that I've really gotten into, but they're Parks and Rec is one that I just go back to all the time.
So one thing that I find myself going back to is, and I'll cherry pick them. I won't watch it straight through, but I do go back to Mad Men, on lunch breaks.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just cherry pick some Mad Men's, and I know that's a weird one. Do you want to know
It's a heavy one, which is interesting.
Yeah, but I like.
Yeah, no, but I feel like
and no, I'll give you my first binge that was too much and too heavy. So going into the final season of Breaking Bad, I had not watched it yet, but that's
Same
when
with you,
stuff.
Cameron, right?
What, Breaking Bad?
Did,
No,
Yeah.
I watched
Were
it
you
all
one of
with
the-
you.
No, you were at least a little bit of a hater for the first two seasons, just because you hadn't seen
Breaking Bad?
Oh, I didn't hate on it. I was just slow to the game, and I'm like, if I don't watch this before the final season, I won't. So this was when you could stream on Netflix in the early on. So I watched the whole series except for the last couple episodes all at once, and it was too much. It was too dark, and it was too depressing. I'm like, this would have been better
Yeah.
week to week.
It's get dark. It gets dark quick.
It was a lot
Because that was one of those shows that always left with your weekly cliffhanger too, where you really needed to process and break it down. Yeah, you needed that time to decompress.
I didn't process. And I think the way I watched it, and I'm sure most people kind of feel this way, I absolutely hated Walter White's character. I just every episode he
I get
ruined
it.
I couldn't take it anymore.
For me,
Jesse was cool.
for me, it was Skylar. I mean, obviously, you realize he turned into whatever.
A monster, and she was completely in the
Heisenberg or
right,
whatever.
but
Yeah, but you're like, let him do his meth thing for a bit.
We should be in Skylar's corner, but we're not.
We're not.
We shouldn't be. But that's not my fault.
I've
they
said
made
it a
her
million
baggy.
times, but maybe this is the year I start The Sopranos. I don't know.
I
Ooh.
think that is
So,
daunting. But yeah, I want to.
Off of that question, I do have some series that I would like to binge. That being one of them. Haven't seen one.
Boardwalk
episode.
Empire, that's been on my list for years. I'll get to it eventually.
Boardwalk Empire and Peaky Blinders. Those are the two I hear so much
Peaky
about.
Blinders is on there,
especially
too.
Peaky Blinders. But I just probably
Ozark.
won't.
I've never seen The Wire.
You guys are just pretty much naming everything
I haven't
I've been
done The
putting
Wire.
off and meaning to watch.
You mean just dark,
Yeah,
deep,
'cause that's-
long, good series? Yeah, we're never.
Because it's hard to get into those ones, but when you're in hard. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want, it's such a commitment to get into it. Any of them.
Do you know what's surprisingly?
Sorry, Jordan, go.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead, Mark.
No, the last one original Netflix series that I really got into was Squid Game Squid Game, which it got just green-lighted for a second.
I marathoned it quick.
So.
Oh, actually, interestingly, have you noticed how much just like K-dramas and stuff are up on Netflix top 10 now? It is crazy how much just like foreign dramas are just now in the mainstream. And that's cool. Yeah, I know. I mean, like I've been watching foreign movies for a few years, for a while anyway, just with Nicole. So like, it's nice now that there's more options, but also terrifying because America's #1 export was media, and now everyone can do it.
They're taking it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're still now it's an import. I don't know. I can tell you, I binge a lot of things with Megan, but the last one that we caught on late, but we fervently got into was Veep. Veep.
Oh yeah,
Veep. We just got I had heard people for years be like, Veep is hilarious. I'm like, yeah, whatever, shut up. But then I watched it, and now I'm the person like, hey, Veep's hilarious. And I feel like I'm Cameron now talking about Dexter. Everybody's like, yeah, we watched
I
it 7
still
years
never
ago.
finished that
Check
last
it out.
season.
It's pretty fucking funny. Oh, you mean it's still boring?
I watched up until the last season before the whole reboot, and I just didn't finish it, and then I canceled my subscription. So I'll get there again eventually someday. Just in the dark. Just didn't finish it.
So I've got a question for you, and this may be hard to answer, but I've got like a week and a half. I got like a week left in Chicago since I'm living here. What would you do with your 1 week in Chicago?
I mean,
right?
It's tough.
I don't think there's anything that we're gonna try to do to cross off. I might stop by.
Have dinner downtown.
Yeah, so go
Maybe
have a downtown
walk by
thing.
the lake or like the zoo or something.
I'd say it's also like if there's any
know what
favorite restaurant kind of thing. One last time, I would just try.
I think we're gonna hit up Pequod's.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like it's more of an eatery
have a
thing.
nostalgic place, even like a grab a couple beers at Dollar Beer Night at like Jack and Ginger's or something.
I also have to pack all week, so
That's gonna make it hard.
But I mean, I don't think you can really do like a full.
Or what's one bucket list thing that you've had on the list that you haven't done yet?
I crossed it off with my wedding. I had never done a trolley, and then we got one. It wasn't like a true bar crawl, but we still got to do the trolley.
True. It was also my first trolley experience. Thanks for getting that off my list.
I think I'm good with like the bucket list things to do here. I've lived here for a long.
You have done
time.
most of the touristy things, so isn't a lot you're missing.
The big things are like that's what I'm saying is like you could go to Navy Pier, but it's not as cool when you're.
No, I'm not gonna. I think we're gonna go to one more Cubs game like next week.
That's a great idea.
Good idea.
Yep.
I think that's our big send off. Maybe do one more. I'll tell this off camera.
Okay.
Or off mic. Well, it's more just logistically planning with you guys. Do you want to hear that? We should do one of the cult classics next week.
Oh yeah, we should have a good send
that'd be
off.
awesome.
It seems for the listeners out there,
be
we've
great.
been doing it remotely pretty much since COVID. So I mean,
I don't know if you could tell by the audio. It's pretty.
Crystal
you probably
clear. Yeah,
can't
it sounds
because my audio got
sounds
better.
great.
Because
Okay.
Cameron's
It's better.
like, since COVID started, Cameron's like, you're going to buy a real mic. I'm like, I think this AT&T headset will be just fine. It turns out it wasn't, so I got a real mic.
sure do. We're in the game now.
Have you guys? This is a little bit of a viral vid that has been going around the internet the past couple weeks. Have you seen this video of the Winklevoss twins and their cover band?
You said this last week. It was a pretty big topic
Did I
last
bring it up?
week.
Okay. It's a big part
So,
of my life.
yes.
If we want to so you know what, I haven't, but it's definitely on my to-do list.
Okay, well,
Winklevoss
I'm
twins.
going to bring it up next week. So.
I can't wait to talk about it. I'll have more to report next week.
I'm looking at this Reddit post of this Storm themed spa room, and it's just
Oh yeah,
basically raining
I
from
showed
the
you that.
ceiling.
Yeah, I
Did
showed
see
you that
this?
last night
Oh.
at band practice.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So to describe
That
this,
sounds
it's just
interesting.
like a hot tub,
Yeah,
but there's
describe
like LED screens surrounding the room with like far off pictures of a storm at sea, and then there's just rain coming from the ceiling. So you're in the safety of indoors, but it's a dark, moody rain.
Do you get hit by the rain?
It's falling on top
yeah,
of you.
it's like imagine
Oh, that sounds
a
great.
shower coming from the ceiling. It's just like pouring down from everywhere.
Oh, you know what a big bucket thing I want to do along that lines? I want to go to like essentially, you know what's going on in John Wick when he goes and shoots all those people into like steam
You
bath
want to be an
pools?
assassin?
No, I want to be in the steam bath.
He wants to go to a Turkish bath, is what it sounds
Yeah, I
like.
want to go to a Turkish bath
that's
situation.
you
wanna
maybe
be
on
on-
a cigar.
You want to be naked with a bunch of 60-year-olds.
Bada bing, bada boom. The
God willing. That's what my body looks like, minus like gray hairs. I just want to get in where I fit in.
Yeah.
you know?
Turkish
Fair,
bath
fair.
on North Avenue in Wicker Park. We can do that, easy peasy.
We can do that.
Maybe that's the bucket list thing. Maybe that's what we do on.
We
like,
lived right next
Wednesday.
to it for years, and we always said one of these days we're going to go into that Turkish bathhouse, and we never did.
Honestly, let's fucking do that.
Let's do that. Let's get
That'd
it
be
in
kinda
just
fun.
one. Just Cult Classics do Turkish baths. Check us on Instagram for the pics. We'll get on our memory. Oh, I was thinking about this with the upcoming baby. I don't think people do it anymore, but I'm gonna buy cigars to hand out on the
Oh,
day
nice.
of.
Try to light it up in the hospital, too. See what happens.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know with COVID what the rules are, so maybe I won't be able to hand it out to anybody day of. But yeah.
I was just thinking about cigars today. I was probably listening to a podcast.
Cigar, not cigarillo. Not to bring it back to that, but
No, it's got to be a cigar for this. But I'm not gonna do like some Acne.
I don't
Yeah,
like
don't
fuck
give
it.
me
Yeah.
give me also just like a 12-foot cigar that's going to last like 7 hours. Give me something reasonable, you know.
Oh, so you say something like between a cigarette and a cigar? Yeah, maybe I'll just hand out
There we go.
cigarillos.
Maybe that's what we
he
do.
buys these slapstick ones that explode in your face, and then you have the soot,
The
and ash
Acme
all over your
explosion.
face. Like a cartoon. Yeah, the Acme.
Acme, yeah. No, I don't. I might do that. I might not though. I just want to hand them out. Everybody, this will be everybody's reactions. Obviously, hopefully congratulatory, but like, awesome. You gave me like. Well, I don't want this cigar.
I was going to just.
I'm gonna use this in 3 weeks.
I'm
I
going to
bet,
sniff
like,
it. Isn't that what you do first? You just, oh, fine. This is the finest gas
that's fine.
station
That sounds-
cigar.
Oh, I'll go to a
see-
cigar shop.
You ever see the guys driving in their cars with like just a cigar unlit, but just like in their mouth? Like,
Yeah, the
Charlie
chewing
Chaplin
of it is
Ah,
gross. I don't like that
sure.
at all.
You ever see though somebody equally? I saw this yesterday, or like within the last few days. Two guys walking on the street, puffing huge Acme type cigars, just walking. I'm like that's an odd.
No, but I
choice.
do see people a lot like using like wood tips and different like cheaper gas station like Swisher Sweet like blunt kind of things.
Well, because like a cigarette
Well,
is like
blunt's a blunt.
a 4 or 5 minute experience if you want to make it last long. But like a cigar could take an hour. I mean, if you're gonna be out
yeah,
walking
for
for
sure.
an hour, sure. But
That's true.
yeah, that is.
But
interesting
you
choice.
also have to. It's an hour of work. It does. It can go out easy, and you got to like put in effort to keep it going.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
It's diligent. Did you notice this? So you were in Texas. I know that's Austin's a little more liberal. I noticed in South Carolina a lot more people smoking on the streets, like a noticeable amount more, like heaters everywhere.
Indoors.
No, but like I didn't go to a casino. I'm sure they can't smoke in bars, but I think you can in Nashville.
It always like wilds me out if I don't know why I said it like that. It always is kind of weird to like go to Indiana and like see people smoking indoors.
Yeah, it's always trippy just to jump in the past again.
Yeah, I am happy that I mean, for
Brings
the
you
most
back to your
part, since
Pizza Hut days, Cameron.
Better times.
for the most part since I've been 21, and for sure, you guys like you haven't been able to smoke in bars, but I think like the first like month I was 21, you could smoke in bars, and it sucked.
I always love the concept of like a smoking section.
Oh
when it was just like a booth over, it was one
Yeah.
booth away.
yeah. There's no dice.
Like, what are we talking about?
But they're 10 feet away. It's fine now.
Or in like a plane. Can you imagine like smoking in a plane? Like, yeah, the smoking section. It's just in
It's
the
kind
back.
of to some extent, it was kind of like the absurdity of like COVID. It's like put on your mask here, but you can take it off while you eat.
While you eat and drink, and then
Yeah.
like what? Do we, yeah,
Just restaurants have always been like, hey, the rules are the rules, and we got to deal with them. Like, what
I
do
do
you
think
want
about
from
that
us?
when I'm watching period
restaurants
pieces,
and
though.
bars.
When I see like everyone smoking, I'm like, did it just reek in there? Did it just always smell of smoke in there? And I guess, yeah, probably.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody's
you just
closed
walk
and
into a
everything's smoked.
casino still to this day, and like it reeks of.
I think you can smoke in most casinos, right?
Yeah, I mean that's I guess, but like there's smoking sections.
I
no?
feel like
There's
now
just
it's
you can smoke
changed a
anywhere.
little bit. Now I feel like there's smoking sections for the most part. Or the last time I was at a casino, there was no smoking. And the one at your bachelor party.
Top few places that I want to smoke cigars, and I hate them every time. Golf course. If it pops up, I'm like, yeah,
Makes
I'll puff on a cigar. Casinos, and then I've never been to the racetracks, but the racetracks. I want to have a cigar at the racetrack.
Those are all the
even
places
though
you do it.
I want to enjoy it.
Cameron, wasn't there an incident when we went to the Foo Fighters concert at Wrigley Field, and like this guy next to us who was just for some reason really took a liking to us? He's like, here, like smoke this, or he's like, smoke this cigarette, and like we started smoking them, and like immediately like, one of the ushers
Nah,
was like,
this guy was just ripping cigarettes the whole concert, like really confidently. But you and I left ours back in the car because we were like, probably can't smoke inside. So at the end of the concert, we were finally like, hey, can we bump some smokes? Because this was just some older dad that like we'd been smoking weed with all Foo Fighters concert anyway, and he'd really taken a shine to us. So at the end, we were finally like, hey, can we bum 2 smokes off you? And he's like, no problem. So we all light up in Wrigley Field, but it's like when the lights turn on at the end. So immediately security was like, hey, assholes, put those out. And me and Mark were immediately like, yep, put him down. And the guy just kept smoking.
That's the funny thing about smoke. It just, it's not that, it's not easy to
with the lights on, it's pretty easy to see where that's coming from. So Mark and I put ours out, but the guy was like, what are you guys going to do? Kick me out? And he just kept leaving him smoking. So he's braver.
They're like, yeah.
Sounds like you guys smoke cigarettes with Randy Marsh.
Kind of.
Thought this was America. Thought this was
Somewhat.
Who's not a bad guy to smoke cigarettes?
Funny guy.
Oh, I got a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day of work, and that's awesome.
Nice. How long did you work there?
Not that like 3
Didn't mean to
months.
be a dig. I was just curious.
Well, no, but
that sounded like a jab.
No.
3 months, and I took all my vacation.
Is that the shortest job you've had? You took all of your vacation. Wow.
Well, yeah, I think my last
Might as
paycheck's
well,
gonna be
right?
pretty small. I wanted to make sure I went places.
I think I worked at Pizza Hut for 2 months, 2.5 maybe. That was my shortest stint.
Um,
Does it feel like a last day of school type of thing, where you're like going to clean out your locker and you're kind of like, "Fuck you, Mrs."
well, I'm thinking
Branson.
about taking a half day if they'll let me and just getting the fuck out of there. I don't know if they will. No,
What are they going to say? Like, again, it's kind of like smoking at Wrigley at the end of the concert. What are they going to say? You gonna kick me
Well,
out?
I'll tell you what, though. I will give you a big eye
you're
roll.
not gonna
You're telling me the
recommendation.
guy that worked here 3 months wants to dip out early now? Yeah, Jordan, you can go. They're not going to care. Why would they care?
Also, what are they going to do? Like, honestly, like,
Uh-oh. It appears we lost some audio
uh-oh.
from Jordan there.
oh no.
Well, folks, on that note, thanks for checking out.
Jordan, you're gone.
Seems like we lost our friend here. Thanks for listening to the Urban Hermit Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Make sure you listen to all the good podcasts on Majestic Jam Network, Cold Classics Podcast, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy. And if you want to subscribe for premium content to help out the station, you can either hit subscribe on your podcast app if it's available, or you can go to patreon.com/Cult Classics Pod. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll check you next time. Bye.
Boing, boing.